Well, now that you've had an opportunity to hear from our two amazing doctors, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my own story and my own journey with Rodan+Fields. I have been married to my husband for 14 years. I am a stay-at-home mom to 5 beautiful, very busy children. And I was a former 5th grade teacher, but I always knew that when it was time for me to have my own family, I wanted to be home with them. So 10 years ago, when I had my first son, I walked away from the classroom after teaching 5th graders for 4 years. And I honestly never second-guessed that decision. There were many times where it was hard being on one income, but that was always what was important to us. So I would find little side jobs to make a little extra money. One thing that I began doing shortly after I had my first child was private tutoring elementary students. And it was really the best of both worlds. I was home with my own children all day, but then I would tutor and work with students at night. So I was able to bring in a little bit of extra income. But again, I wasn't sacrificing that time away from my kids that I didn't want to do. And so during that time, it kept me very busy. I built a really great tutoring clientele. And then about 2.5 years ago, my husband's job relocated us to a new city. So I left and lost that entire tutoring clientele. We also found out that I was unexpectedly expecting. And so for the first time in motherhood, I found myself not contributing to our family's finances at all. And it was hard. We had 2 kids in school. They were really heavily involved in activities. So every time a sports activity would come home or music, or they would need a sports fee or a jersey fee or a book fee, I just felt like those were things that I wanted to give them, but I didn't know where these extra expenses were going to come from. We were already really stretched kind of to the max, let alone fun things like vacations. So I found myself really longing to find something that I could do, but we really realized there was nothing that I was willing to do that would allow me to still be home and fully invested with my own children. And again, I did not want to sacrifice that time away from them. And so fast forward a little bit of time, and a friend from college actually messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm doing this Rodan+Fields. Do you have any interest in learning more about it?" And I didn't. I had just had a new baby. So at the time I had a 4-month-old, an 18-month-old, a newly 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, and an 8-year-old. I was living in a fairly new city away from my family. I was not twiddling my thumbs and sitting around looking for things to keep me busy. I was a teacher. I was not in sales. I didn't even feel like I had a good idea about what direct sales were, and I really didn't want to be that girl. I didn't want to stock inventory. I didn't want to host parties. My own skin was actually a really sensitive mess at the time, so I very quickly said thanks, but no thanks. But I couldn't stop watching, and I couldn't stop thinking in the back of my head, what if this opportunity could be exactly what I'm looking for, that thing that I didn't even think existed, that allowed me to still be home with my kids, to still be invested, to be living the life that I want to live, but still be giving me some financial cushion and opportunity to bring some extras to our family. I wanted desperately to take our family on vacation, but I didn't know where that extra money was going to come from. I didn't want to have that big pit in my stomach when unexpected things happen, like cars breaking down or appliances breaking down. And so 2 years ago, I decided to go for it. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about skincare. I was crazy busy, but I knew that this was something that I could not pass up. So I at least wanted to give it a try. And my goal was to make $500 a month. I knew that on one income, $500 a month would be a substantial amount of money, and I wanted to pay for our family to go on a vacation that spring. Well, not only did I make $500 a month, not only did I replace a full-time teaching salary, but I have tripled a full-time teaching salary in the 2 years I've been doing this. And I tell you that not to brag at all, but for you to know that I am just a regular girl, teacher by trade turned stay-at-home mom who saw an opportunity, and I saw that this could be amazing for our family, so I decided to go for it. And it is giving our family, and has given our family, huge financial freedom. We are able to do things with our children. We are able to go places. We are able to give to organizations that we could have never done otherwise, and we are so, so thankful. So tonight, I want to encourage you to really look at this opportunity. Maybe it's something that you never foresaw yourself doing. It's not something I ever thought I would do either, but maybe it's something that you keep wondering, what if this could be something that could make a difference in my family's life? I want to encourage you tonight to keep an open heart and open mind, and if you have that nagging thought in the back of your mind like I kept having, I want to challenge and encourage you to talk to the person that invited you. Figure out a little bit more listen to the facts tonight and see if it's something that maybe you think could work in your own life, because I am watching this business not only change our family's lives, but the lives of over 500 people on my team, and it is amazing. So we are looking forward to enjoying this evening with you tonight. We hope that you learn a lot and that you just have a really great time. So thank you so much for tuning in.